feeling and everything like that. Just everything about the whole training camp thing. Yeah, you get some days you're like, man, why come back and do this? But everything's been good. Just listen to my coach and just focusing on the game plan, and I'm enjoying it. You gotta enjoy it while it lasts, because one day this will be over, and it'll be a new crop, and it's just taking over the game. So right now, I'm just gonna enjoy the moment that I got now, and this is the last one. This is the last one.
Bro, we gotta talk, ladies and gentlemen. We definitely gotta talk about what Jermall Charlo and Errol Spence Jr. look like today during their open workout, after their open workout, when they did their interviews. I got a red flag going towards Errol Spence Jr. that we're gonna talk about. And I got a good thing to talk about when it comes to Errol Spence Jr. And I got a fantastic thing to talk about when it comes to Jermall Charlo. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, if you guys didn't see these guys hit the mitts, shadow box, do their open workout, the men look absolutely fantastic. They're on their way. It's the road to Australia. Australia versus the USA. Stephen Fulton, Jermall Charlo, Errol Spence Jr., both of those men training with Ronnie Shields, getting ready to go to Australia and represent. I see Jermall Charlo throwing that jab out there. I see him looking in sync. See him looking fantastic, coming back to the 168-pound division. I think about the champions in that division. You got Hamza Shiraz, you got Jaime Mungoya, you got Odys Iglesias, and you got Canelo and Christian Mabili coming up. Jermall Charlo, the addition of him in that division is absolutely fantastic. But the main thing that I want to talk about when it comes to him is the interview after. Bro, the dude just seems so calm, so mentally focused, so healthy, so aware. So aware is what I noticed from Jermall Charlo in the interview. And I said to myself, this is great, bro. This is exactly what you want to see. Ronnie Shields got these boys cooking, man. He got these boys working. Brian Norman Jr. had looked absolutely fantastic in his comeback fight against Franz Wagner. He seems to be focused again, having left his toxic dad. Somebody who was the complete opposite of him, now to training with somebody like Ronnie Shields, who, bruh, Ronnie, low-key, bro, he seems to be putting in the work. Seems to be putting in the work right now. Jermall Charlo absolutely impressed me. Errol Spence Jr., let's be real. Doing the mitts. Shadow boxing, he looked fantastic. Bruh, I'm not going to lie, Errol Spence Jr. looked fantastic. Snap. Power. Speed, fundamentals, technicality, footwork, cutting off the ring. My goodness, it's one of the things that I noticed when he cuts off the ring. You guys know the pressure, the volume that this man would put on his fighters at the 147-pound division, looking to make his 154-pound debut. I can't even imagine, with the anxiety and the excitement going into this fight with Tim Tszyu, what type of ferociousness we're going to get from Errol Spence Jr. I see him hitting the mitts and all that, and that's what I think about. I get excited, bro. I think to myself, Errol Spence Jr. is back. But the red flag that I see from Errol Spence Jr., that is kind of throwing me off a little bit, that is kind of getting me a little worried, even though I got confidence in Errol. It's got me thinking to myself, man, what's the actual mentality of Errol Spence Jr. looking like? Because this is a guy who could lie to us, right? This is a dude who was at the last press conference going in against Terrence Bud Crawford saying that he's good, everything's right, I'm focused, training camp has been great, to, recently coming out and everything being the complete opposite of that. Errol Spence Jr. continues to talk about retirement. was talking about how during this training camp, there was a couple days, and I guarantee you this thought goes in his head every day, but I know for a fact there's a couple days where he's dreading it. And he thinks to himself, damn, why am I doing this right now? Why I could be with my children. I could be with my, taking my daughter to soccer practice. I can be with my wife, spending time with her. Y'all know, this last 3 years, if you follow him on social media, you'll see all the goddamn places he's been going with his family, the stuff he loves to do with his kids. It's pretty cool. But it's very possible that the legs have officially gotten underneath them, have left them. I'm not saying his footwork or, his movement. I'm talking about his legs. I'm talking about his toughness, his mentality, his love for the sport. I think it's very possible that with those 3 years out, he's starting to think to himself, bro, why am I doing this? Sparring all the time, putting my body through hell. I'm finna get this check and I ain't coming back for another long time. You know what? I may never come back. Errol Spence Jr. says, you got to cherish every moment in the sport of boxing because you really don't know when it's going to be over. This may be my last fight. You just never know. If he takes a beating with Tim Tszyu and is just another bad injury, this just might be the last fight that we ever see Errol Spence Jr. compete in. So I'm hoping, that Errol Spence walks out of there clean and untouched, man. I'm really hoping for a fantastic win. That want to continue to keep the truth fighting in the 154-pound division. I mean, I feel like although we've seen a lot from Errol Spence, all the great fights that he's put on, truly respect him. Going up against the best in the world all the time. At the 154-pound division, there's still a lot of fights that can be made with this man. And man, my goodness, would I love to see them. I would love to see it. One of the all-time friendships turned to rivalries that I would like to see a fight someday is between Jermall Charlo's brother, who fights at 154 pounds, former undisputed 154-pound king, versus Errol Spence Jr. Now that's the fight that I would like to see, an all-out Texas battle. Let me know what you guys think, man. Let me know what you guys think about all this, Good things coming from Jermall Charlo, Errol Spence Jr. Looking good, looking fantastic. The mentality, I'm still interested to see how this man is, doing and what's going to be next for him after this fight, depending on how everything goes. But this is the MMA Boxing Addicts channel, my brothers. I felt like we had to talk about this and some interesting stuff. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. I'm out.